Beijing is escalating the trade battle. This just came across. The U.S. With the U.S. says it reportedly orders Chinese airlines to stop taking deliveries of Boeing planes and to not buy the aircraft-related equipment from American companies.
This comes as President Trump considers a pause on car tariffs.
Jackie Heinrich is live at the White House with all the details for you. Hey, Jackie.
Hey, good morning to you guys. That's right. Bloomberg is reporting this morning that China has ordered its airlines to halt deliveries of Boeing jets and all aircraft-related parts, causing shares of the company to drop 4.6% in pre-market trading. That followed the announcement. This order will block about 10 747 MAX airline jets from entering Chinese fleets. China's retaliatory tariff of 125% on American goods made purchases impractical, more than doubling the cost, according to this report. Meantime, Beijing is looking for ways to assist the Chinese airlines that lease the Boeing jets. This news comes as President Trump is announcing he's considering a pause for auto tariffs. Last week, he said no such exceptions were under consideration, but he also cautioned that he will stay flexible.
I'm looking at something to help some of the car companies where they're switching to parts that were made in Canada, Mexico, and other places, and they need a little bit of time because they're going to make them here, but they need a little bit of time. So I'm talking about things like that.
NEC Director Kevin Hassett said on Kudlow yesterday the U.S. has solid trade deal offers from about 10 countries, but the real number is north of 10. The offers just aren't quite there yet. Meantime, the White House is preparing a rescission package to codify DOGE cuts. Among the items on the chopping block, half the State Department and USAID budgets, slashing $26 billion in programs that promote democracy, support cultural institutions, and aid multinational institutions. That's according to Politico. Plus, the New York Post is reporting billions in federal funding for NPR and PBS is also on the chopping block. OMB Director Russ Vought saying, quote, since day one, the Trump administration has targeted waste, fraud, and abuse in federal spending through executive action, DOGE review, and other efforts by departments and agencies. Congress has expressed strong interest in supporting these efforts and requested the administration transmit rescissions to the Hill for swift approval. Now, formally transmitting these cuts from the White House will start that 45-day clock for the House and Senate to approve or reject the blueprint. According to the New York Post, the White House thinks that this package of rescissions will pass, guys.
But you know what I'm so shocked at, Jackie? That it's just $9.5 billion. Like I thought we saved a minimum $250 billion. Why start so low?
Yeah, we've got to go back actually and look at the numbers because there are conflicting stats in the Politico reporting and the NPR reporting. It looks like the New York Post reporting includes cuts to NPR and PBS as well as 8-point-something billion for the State Department, while the Politico reporting puts the State Department and USAID cuts at 26, which would include the 8 that's referenced in the New York Post. So we're trying to get a solid number. Our reporting is that the White House has passed a rescission package, but we're trying to nail down exactly what that number is, guys.
All right. Thanks so much.
Thanks.
So it's a pretty big deal. I mean, they cut off the rare earth. We should be shot. We should be getting them from them anyway. Why we're depending on them for everything. And the other thing is with Boeing planes, you only got one other shot, Airbus. So it's either you want Boeing or you want Airbus, but Airbus just can't replace something that takes time to produce, Lawrence.
Yeah, it's gonna be some pain here, Brian. I mean, there's just no sugarcoating it. I hate that it had to be this moment that we started doing manufacturing in our country, because it seems like in many respects we're just not prepared for it. Right. Maybe the president can get some type of operation like Operation Warp Speed, where we start to produce at a massive scale. But I also think that it's just very interesting, as I made the point yesterday, that China is willing to stop planes when they didn't want to stop the planes when there was a pandemic going on. They could have notified the world. If China wants to get into action, they're showing that they can do it. I just hope we're ready for this fight. I think there's a lot of people, and I'm going to be talking with diners later on today, that support the president because they feel like this is the patriotic thing to do, to make here, build here, and that they feel like it's a safety issue for our country. Ainsley.
Lawrence, two things. Yesterday, Walmart said that they looked at the first earnings report for 2025, no negative effect from these tariffs. 70% of their goods are made in America, and that's what Trump's trying to do for industries. He's listening to the car industry. They're saying, can you rethink this? Can you pause this for just a little bit? And he's listening to the people. But a lot of people out in America, they love this. Everywhere we go, people are saying they love it. Trump did sit down with Rachel Campos Duffy. She asked him something that he said no one has ever asked him. Could the tariff money, could it replace our income taxes so that we wouldn't have to pay taxes? Listen.
Los aranceles van a reemplazar el income tax.
You're the only one that's asked me that. Oh, I deal with all these big financial geniuses. Nobody ever. There is a chance that the money from tariffs could be so great that it would replace. In the old days, about 1870 to 1913, the tariffs were the only form of money. And that's when our nation was relatively the richest. We were the richest.
That's interesting. You'll be able to see Rachel's full interview with the president. It drops today, 4 o'clock on Fox Noticias, and she's got the interview. And in talking, Lawrence, you made a good point. There's going to be some pain because of a variety of reasons. But we know big multinational companies like Boeing and the car companies, they've got plans to weather it. The New York Post today, their cover story is Mr. Trump saved my business. And what it talks about is how many mom and pop shops across the United States are in really big trouble. Small businesses account for 1/3 of all American imports. All the stuff that comes into the country goes to small businesses. And right now, a lot of the small businesses are having to either lay off people or hike their prices or close. And they're just not equipped. So the Post highlights a bunch of small businesses that are on the verge of going under, and
After a week?
Well, after a while. The New York Post, the editorial says, Mr. President, be careful because you are well insulated from the financial shocks. They have no clue about how the surcharges are clobbering small business owners and their patrons. So while a big company has got deep pockets, it's the people who are living paycheck to paycheck as a small business operator that are really feeling the pain. A lot of them voted for Trump. A lot of them want the tariffs to work, but right now it just hurts.
But it's projected pain because, we're talking about something that happened 4 days ago, 1 week ago, or, depending on, and the president's phased other things in. The other thing is the president's doing exactly what he said he was going to do. He said he's got to reconfigure all these relationships. He said 10 came in with strong deals yesterday. Also, that big story about NVIDIA, Lawrence, with the chip maker announced it would produce supercomputers for artificial intelligence entirely in the U.S. That might be the #1 company in the world.
Yeah, let's actually talk with some of the people about that, Brian, because I think this tariff thing, we're so outside of the bubble sometimes that we miss what the American people are talking about. Let's go talk with some folks here. Hey, how y'all doing? Let's go over here. Hey, how y'all doing? Let's talk about the tariffs, if y'all don't mind. What's your name, ma'am?
Kathy.
Kathy, and what's your name?
Jim.
Okay, so I've been talking with folks about this tariff issue. Some people feel like we need to take the power back from these other countries. We need some fairness. And some people feel like we're going to have some pain. Where do you stand? Do you support the president's plan here, or are you concerned?
I support the president. I think it'll all even out. And we voted for him. We have to support him.
What about you, sir? Where do you stand?
I think one of the things that we always ask is why we're going to leave our children. And I think that this is something that should have been done decades ago. So this is something that we're going to leave our children. We're going to leave our children a better economy than we have right now.
Thank you, sir. Let's go over here and talk to these folks. How you doing, sir?
Good. How are you?
Good. How you doing? Well, you're live on air. I promise I'm going to take a picture with you afterwards. What's your name?
Angela.
Angela, tell me, what do you feel about the president in this tariff business? Do you feel like it's the right thing to do to get some fairness with the other countries, shut down China? Or are you concerned right now?
No, I'm not concerned. I have full faith in our president. We support him 100%.
Is this what he campaigned on, that he was going to go after these, make America great again through America First policy?
Yes, he did.
Where you stand, sir?
Absolutely stand behind the president. Number one, he actually his masterful plan, played China like a fiddle, and you got to say that may be rough the next few weeks, but we'll get through it, and it's totally the art of the deal.
Well, we always do get through it, don't we? So, guys, this is what I was talking about. It's not just the people that support Trump. It's all these unions that are typically Democratic voters that are supportive of this tariff policy. So while Wall Street may be freaking out, and these people, they've acknowledged the pain as well, but they support the president's action right here because they feel like it's time to stick it to China, A, and number two, it's America first, not America last, guys.
Well, there you go.
All right. Thanks so much.
They said the same thing that the diner patrons were saying to Brian last week when he was at a diner. They support the president. They trust him. Anything's better than what we had over the last 4 years. So they're giving him time and letting it all shake out.
Yeah, and Lawrence, by the way, there are a lot of people talking about your walking. It's a lot of good walking. It's a lot of good weaving and walking. It's some great walking. It's a very deep embassy diner. Some great walking.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.